From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Mike Krueger, your afternoon update here. We've got mountain thunderstorms at least through Wednesday. That could linger into Thursday, maybe even Friday. We'll take a closer look at that here in just a bit. The valley could see some activity, but I think most of the thunderstorms are going to be in the higher elevations. And with these thunderstorms, there is the threat for dry lightning. But that being said, some of these storms are going to have some pretty heavy rainfall, maybe some hail and gusty winds associated with them as well. Now, it is going to be hot this week, but I do expect temperatures to drop as we get closer to your 4th of July, so it looks like more bearable heat for this Friday. Take a look at today. There's that chance maybe out in Trinity County, but I think most of what you're going to see here for today will be in Siskiyou and Modoc counties. Now, the coast could see some later on tonight into tomorrow morning. And eventually, I think by tomorrow, the Eastern Mountains seeing a better chance. So let's take a look at that fire weather forecast. It's that time of the year. We take a look at all of the different elements that we've got to watch for when it comes to any kind of fire danger. Now, up until about this point, for quite a while, we've just been talking about dry conditions, the winds, right? But now we've got a red flag warning, but this is not for the dry conditions and the winds. This is for the potential for some dry lightning. Now, with all of that said, I think this is a little overly optimistic as it heads a little bit too far to the south. Places like, say, southern Trinity County, out towards Plumas County, even to the east. However, this is through Tuesday, so the chances are certainly going to be better, especially as we do go into tomorrow for many of the areas southward. Let's see what I'm talking about here. Here's for your Monday fire potential. Again, mainly due to the fact that we could see some dry lightning. Once again, I think overly optimistic at this point in Trinity County, but I think it's doing a pretty good job out towards Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and even going into northern and northeastern Shasta County as well. Again, mainly Siskiyou, Modoc counties where we're seeing the bulk of that activity. That'll be the case again here for tomorrow, but I think we could see better chances going into the mountains of Shasta County, Lassen County, and even northern portions of Trinity County as well. So we talked about the winds not necessarily being the main factor for our fire weather risk. However, what you can see here is these winds, especially out towards Wairika. See the reds up there? Those are gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour plus. Those will be winds that will be associated with those thunderstorms later this afternoon. We can see another round of that, especially out towards Modoc County, going into your Tuesday afternoon. And then for Wednesday through midday, winds not much of a factor, but once those thunderstorms develop, we'll be looking at those winds picking back up again. But again, those winds are mainly generated from the thunderstorms, not necessarily from a broad overall sense of those winds picking up across the board. Now, it's still going to be rather dry out there. As we can see, those humidity levels are still going to be in the single digits to low teens for the valley. And it looks like we're going to be approaching that here as we go into your Wednesday as well. So still very dry. Now, what we've got here is this broad ridge of high pressure that's in place. You'll see the spin and those clouds off to the west of San Francisco. That is an area of low pressure that's helping to bring us some of that instability and the chances for showers and thunderstorms. So here's the overall setup. We've got that area of low pressure I was talking about to our west. We've got area of high pressure over the desert southwest, which tends to park itself there all summer long. And we're beginning to see that monsoon make its way back into the desert southwest. And sometimes we are able to tap into that monsoon moisture. What that is basically just warm subtropical air that moves into the desert southwest during the summer season. And that's when they see those afternoon thunderstorms begin to develop. As I mentioned, sometimes we can tap into that monsoon moisture, and that looks like it's going to be the source of moisture for today's thunderstorms, tomorrow's thunderstorms, and even into Wednesday as well. So there you can see that low pressure system just barely moving to the east, bringing in more thunderstorms for the higher elevations on Tuesday. It starts to weaken, but we still have that tap into that monsoon moisture on Wednesday. Then that low pressure moves on out. Now, another thing we're watching is see that troughing coming on in. That's going to help to drop our temperatures down by the time we get into Friday. But that monsoon moisture is going to remain in place, at least over the desert southwest. And we're not going to be influenced by it as much as we do go later this week and into next week as well. But it's the next couple of days that we're going to be able to tap into that. So let's take a closer look at where those thunderstorms will be this afternoon. And I think most of them are going to be in Siskiyou and even Modoc County. Otherwise, it's going to be fairly dry elsewhere. Now, by the time we go into the late afternoon, now we're seeing it work its way into Del Norte County, northern Humboldt County, and western Siskiyou County. But elsewhere, you're not seeing much activity. Now, if you look down to the lower right-hand corner of your screen there, you can see the next disturbance coming in late tonight. Now, that could bring some brief, light, scattered sprinkles or showers for areas to the south, and then working its way northward to the north end of the valley. Redding, Red Bluff could see some of that. And then tomorrow morning, that is mainly moving its way through Trinity County and into Humboldt County as well. That will move off to the west. But then we see more of that afternoon convection, the daytime heating. Thunderstorms tapping into, at least that area of low pressure, tapping into that monsoon moisture, giving us those thunderstorms, as you can see here in the higher elevations. You can see more, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit more to the south as well, into especially northern Trinity County, Siskiyou County, and Modoc County. And of course, I think some of that could work its way into Lassen County as well. Looks like we'll see a bit of a break Tuesday night, and then yes, another round of thunderstorms are a possibility as we take you through Wednesday afternoon. These are going to be more in the way of those pop-up thunderstorms here, but that could include, looks like Wednesday, it could include the north end of Shasta County into Modoc County and the eastern mountains as well. Now you'll notice some activity popping up around Red Bluff. We can't rule out some activity here making its way into parts of the valley Wednesday afternoon. That's something we'll have to watch, as we're still getting a bit of that monsoon moisture influence that could make its way into the valley as well. As of right now, I'm not really setting that in stone, but it is something I'll be watching here closely. Now, temperatures are increasing slightly over the next few days, peaks on Wednesday, but look at that. By the 4th of July on Friday, we are going to see a dip in those temperatures, a little bit more bearable in that heat, in fact, dropping below normal, and then just kind of hovering around normal as we go through the weekend and into next week. So there you can see the best chances for thunderstorms, and I'd say at this point mainly in Siskiyou County, Modoc County, but even some of the mountains just east of the valley around Bernie, Shingletown, Manton might be pushing it. But Bernie, Fall River Mills, okay, maybe, and maybe out towards Lassen Park as well. But otherwise, I think everyone else will be dry, at least through the rest of the afternoon. Could see more of those showers and possible thunderstorms to the north and to the west, but otherwise, you're looking at mainly dry conditions here as that main disturbance kind of pushes from the south. So yes, maybe some showers late tonight for parts of the valley. I don't anticipate anything all that impressive. We are going to be looking at dry conditions, though. Now, as I mentioned, Wednesday may be interesting. We'll see what happens with that. But for now, no thunderstorms I put in the forecast just yet. But Futurecast seems to think otherwise. We'll see. I'm going to give it another day before I set that in stone. Then you can see temperatures starting to drop. By the 4th of July, we're down into the low 30s. All right, for the coast, some of those showers late tonight. That's also the case inland. Maybe some activity in northern Trinity County, but better chances going into your Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, let's take a look at Siskiyou, Modoc County, the eastern mountains, all looking at that chance for thunderstorms here through Wednesday. And we may see some of that linger on into your Thursday as well, but looks like the chances diminish by the end of the week and as we go into the weekend. That's your afternoon update. I'll be back again this evening at 6 o'clock. Have yourselves a great afternoon.